Hey guys, so for this video, I want to cover the hottest debate in Fortnite, the charged shotgun versus the tactical shotgun. Ever since Season 3 was released, the charged shotgun has been the talk of the town. Some pros like Liquid Stretch and TSM Kanata hate it, while other pros like NRG Unknown and Senbuga love it. This weapon alone has caused a huge divide in the community. No joke, I probably got around 80 direct messages asking me to make a shotgun guide. So because I'm a man of the people, that's exactly what I'm here to do. I'll be covering the charged shotgun versus attack shotgun, how to effectively use each of them, and give you my ultimate recommendation for which ones to use in game. With that being said, let's get right on into it. Starting off, I'll give you what you're all here for, my guide on how to effectively use the charged shotgun. The charged shotgun is the newest close-range weapon in Fortnite Battle Royale. It was put in the game to replace the pump shotgun and has already fully changed the meta. The reason behind this is instead of firing after you press your fire button, the charged shotgun fires after you release your fire button. That means you can hold your fire button down to charge it up before shooting. The more you charge it up, the higher damage you will do. As to why everyone hates it, it comes down to the fact that it does have a delay. No matter how fast you can click and let go, there will always be a slight waiting period before the charged shotgun shoots. This may not seem like too big of a deal as it is only a few milliseconds, but as I'm sure you've all experienced, it actually is. For years, we've all been used to having our shotguns go off immediately after pressing left click or right bumper. That no longer happens with the charged shotgun. You're forced to sit and wait, which screws up all the muscle memory you've built up while playing. Not to mention, you also cannot build or edit as you charge up a shot. Anytime you go to build, your charge gets cancelled. Seems like a pretty fair trade-off, right? Well, this doesn't really work in Fortnite. Fortnite is all about building, editing, and box fighting. So when you add a mechanic that prevents one of those things from happening, people are obviously gonna lose their minds. Now, to be honest with you boys and girls, I was one of those people at the start. From the delay to the overall design, I hated everything about the charged shotgun. The more I've used it, however, the more I've come to like it. I love how much damage it does, I love how it forces people to play smarter, and I love how I'm one of the few people who can use it well. That's until this video gets released. Seriously though, how I adapted to it is by almost always double tapping my shots. The biggest mistake I've seen people make with the charged shotgun is that they try to fully charge up every shot they take. They think they always need to hit charged up shots. What they don't realize is that's not realistic. Would you rather be able to hit one shot that's not charged up for 90 damage or hit 0 fully charged up shots? The obvious answer is the first one. You never want to force yourself to charge up your shotgun. You ideally want to double tap your fire button. What double tapping does is it makes the charge act similar to the old pump we're all used to. Be aware though, the charged shotgun still shoots on release. It does not shoot on the second click. Double clicking forces you to release your fire button faster rather than holding left click or right bumper a little too long. So again, the new charged shotgun will always have a delay. My sneaky way around it is to double tap your fire button. Even though you do more damage with it charged up, it's not worth the time it takes to get there. Trust me on this, follow my advice and double tap or slightly charge up your shotgun shots. This goes for keyboard and mouse and controller. I know it's a little weirder on controller since you're all used to holding down your right bumper. Still, I highly advise you get used to quickly double tapping your right bumper with the charged shotgun. Anyways, as I was just saying, you want to double tap a majority of the time. Not all of your shots obviously, but at least more than half of them. The only times I recommend holding down your charge is when you're sneaking up on someone who does not see you or you're holding an angle / pre-firing. Remember how back in the day I said to only ADS your pump shots in certain situations? Those few situations apply for charging up your shotgun shots as well. Like, did you notice how in the last clip, I charged up my shot while I had the right hand peak, yet I double tapped the shot after I edited? I knew to do this because I had a free angle on the guy and had the opportunity to charge up. The last thing you want to do with the charged shotgun is sit in someone's face trying to fully charge up your gun. Any good player will then get piece control on you or spray you to death with their SMG. What you should do instead is get a quick shot off on your opponent from up close, then swap to your AR or SMG to finish them off. That should be the main aspect of your playstyle with the charged shotgun. That's also why you should practice double tapping or barely charging up your shotgun in creative, double tapping then building, and finally double tapping in full out 1v1s. Only the best charged shotgun players like NRG Unknown and Young Calc have this muscle memory down. It's literally a new mechanic that none of us have ever seen before, so the quicker you get used to it through practice, the better you'll become in game. Speaking of muscle memory, another tip I have for the charged shotgun is to slow down while going for flicks. As the legend Aussiantix pointed out, all your muscle memory for shotgun is tied to the fact that they'll shoot as soon as you press left click. That means you essentially have no muscle memory for hitting shots with the charged shotguns. You'll most likely overflick your shots since you think the shot will go off when in reality it does not, and your crosshair keeps going. The way you want to think of your charged shotgun aim is like tracking with an SMG. Rather than quickly moving your crosshair across the target like you would for a normal flick, you want to keep your crosshair on the target at all times. Whether they go left, right, up or down, follow them the whole time with your shotgun crosshair. This actually makes sense when you think about how the charge mechanic works. You gotta remember it fires after you release your fire button, not when you press it. If you decide to stop tracking with the charged shotgun like you would for a flick, you're never gonna hit any shots. Therefore, by being precise, potentially lowering your sense, because I do think it's gonna be a low sense meta, and tracking your targets all the way through, you'll be way more likely to hit your shots whenever you decide to stop charging up. The final thing I want to discuss regarding the charged shotguns are my favorite tricks to use with it. The first is one you may have noticed from my last video, where I continue to charge my shotgun shot as I walk through a door. I'm really not sure why this works. All I know is you can charge up your shot, open and or close the door, and your charge will not get cancelled. Second trick is actually a technique you should use against someone who has a charged shotgun. Let's say you have piece control on your opponent and they have a charge in their inventory. If they're decent, then they're most likely going to sit behind the build piece charging up their shot. You can easily hear the sound of the charged shotgun charging up, by the way. Anyways, the trick is to make and quickly reset net it, that way your opponent takes the bait by shooting the build piece. I was doing this all the time in my arena games yesterday. Just make sure you practice it beforehand. Third trick is to try to use facing tricks while inside your own box. The charged shotgun is without a doubt a defensive weapon. It's there to help you counter W keyers and other aggressive players. Be aware though, that does not mean you can't use it aggressively like I can, it just means it's better suited with defensive facing tricks for easy shots. Last trick was something I showed in my recent video about binding your fire button to scroll wheel. While I do think it's pretty clever, I recommend you get used to double tapping. Double tapping to fire is much better for the long term. It also doesn't use up an extra keybind, does not only work on keyboard and mouse, and it doesn't prevent you from charging up your shots whenever you want to, like scroll wheel does. Moving on to the tac shotgun, and I really don't think you guys need a full guide on how to use it. It's got the same fire rate as before, the same spread, same everything except its damage. The tactical shotgun's headshot multiplier was nerfed to 1.5. No, you're not hearing things, its headshot multiplier is 1.5. To make matters worse, the base damage for the green and white tacs was reduced by 3, and the base damage for blue, purple, and gold tacs was reduced by 4. A gold tactical shotgun in Chapter 2 Season 3 can only do 124 damage with a full pellet headshot. A blue tac can only do 112. Epic knew people would not use the charge if they left the tac the way it was, so they absolutely gutted its damage stats. Here's a full list of its max damages from different tiles, as well as that of the charged shotgun. Shout out to Somebody's Gun and 1UP Analytics. As you can see from the top, the tac shotgun barely does any damage compared to what it did in past seasons. In addition to that, the row at the bottom tells us a fully charged body shot with the green does 127 damage. That is 3 more damage than a gold tac max damage headshot. Not a body shot, a max damage headshot with the best tactical shotgun. Alright, does that make the charged shotgun better than the tac? To answer that, we have to stack up all the positives and negatives from each shotgun. On the charged shotgun side, the negatives are as follows. Non-mythical charged shotguns only have 3 bullets. All charged shotguns have a delay, which if you're not used to, can really hurt your aim. And lastly, because you'll need to switch to an SMG or AR after using the charged shotgun, you'll have 1 less inventory slot. On the other hand, its positives are that it does way more damage than the tac, all the same rarities reload quicker, and it has a much higher skill ceiling. Onto the negatives of the tac, and it's basically that it does no damage anymore. It's gonna take you at least 3 to 4 shots to kill people, plus its bigger spread only makes that worse. Then its positives are that its fire rate is much faster, it holds way more bullets, it's way better for pressuring your opponent's builds, it doesn't have a delay before shooting, and it frees up an extra slot for a sniper or heal. With those things in mind, I personally believe the charged shotgun is better than the tac. No matter how many more positives and negatives the tac shotgun has, its damage is abysmal. You will never have the opportunity to get 4 clean shots off on a good player. Not to mention, anytime you miss a shot with the charged shotgun, you can just switch to your SMG, which is probably better than the shotgun in the first place. So if I have not made it clear enough already, learn to use the charged shotgun. I get that it feels clunky and it forces you to change up your playstyle. The thing is, when you fully adapt, you will destroy everyone. Epic Games is not going to bring back the pump this season. I'm sorry to tell you, but they want a whole new meta. Stop whining and crying like I was on Twitter and just adapt. I promise you right right now, you'll come back to this video in a few weeks and thank me for telling you to use the charged shotgun. You just have to be the one who puts in the time to learn it and utilize all the tips and tricks I've shared here today. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, that is my guide on how to use the charged shotgun, as well as which shotgun I think is better in Season 3. If you enjoyed the video or learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code Jerian. I'm still going to be shouting out everyone who used my code for the battle pass. Please let me know if you did on Twitter or Instagram. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.